In 1985, a dressed up Brooks Brothers alligator shoe wearing, diamond ring wearing slave.
We're still slaves. Not in chains, but in a system that's been rigged against us for over 150 years. Here's a fact they don't want us to know. Black Americans spend $1.6 trillion annually, yet less than 2% of that wealth stays in our communities. Let me say that again. 98% of our money flows out, benefiting everyone but us. And this didn't happen by accident. In 1877, they made a backroom deal to end Reconstruction, stripping us of our rights and pushing us back into economic slavery. And guess what? The game hasn't changed. Today, our talent is exploited in Hollywood, our labor is outsourced overseas, and our communities are drained dry by corporations and merchants who profit off our pain. But in 1985, Louis Farrakhan dropped a truth bomb so powerful it sent shockwaves across the nation. He called out the lies, exposed the systems, and gave us a blueprint to break free. They tried to silence him. The U.S. Senate condemned him. The media attacked him. But he didn't back down. If you're tired of begging for crumbs, tired of seeing our people exploited, and tired of a system that's designed to keep us down, this video is for you. It's time to take control of our money. Let's dive right in by exploring the historical oppression and systemic betrayal of blacks. 1877 was a year that changed everything for black folks. The Compromise of 1877 was supposed to be about settling a presidential election, but what it really did was sell us out. Reconstruction ended, and with it, any hope of real freedom. Instead of moving forward, they pushed us back into a system that looked a lot like slavery, just with a different name. Why? Because the country needed cotton, and they needed us to work for nothing to keep their pockets full.
Required that blacks be returned to virtual slavery and assigned to permanent political, social, and economic inferiority.
Louis Farrakhan's approach.
Let that sink in. They made a deal to keep us down, and it worked. But it didn't stop there. After the Civil War, black labor was still the engine driving white wealth. We built this country, but we didn't get to share in its riches. And when unions started forming, like Samuel Gomper's American Federation of Labor, they weren't for us. No, they let European immigrants in but kept black workers locked out. It was another way to make sure we stayed at the bottom while everyone else climbed over us. This history isn't just about the past. It's about understanding why we're still fighting today. The systems they built back then were designed to keep us from winning, and Farrakhan's message reminds us that if we don't know our history, we can't change our future. That takes us directly to my next point, where we explore the economic exploitation of blacks. Let's talk about money, because we've got it, but we don't control it. Black folks spend over $204 billion a year. That's enough to make us the 14th richest country in the world if it was our own nation. But instead of building our communities, that money flows right out of our hands. Farrakhan called it like it is. We're out here begging for crumbs, while everyone else eats off our plate. He didn't hold back on calling out Jewish and Arab merchants either. They set up shop in our neighborhoods, sell us what we need, but take the profits and run, without reinvesting a dime back into our communities. It's exploitation, plain and simple. And it's not just here. Farrakhan drew a line from our struggle to the global fight for resources. Look at South Africa. They're fighting to reclaim their gold, diamonds, and land from colonizers. But what do we have? No oil, no gold, no diamonds. What we do have is talent, creativity, and hustle, but even that's being hijacked. Farrakhan said it best.
You are a slave. In 1985, a dressed up Brooks Brothers alligator shoe wearing, diamond ring wearing slave.
And let's not forget about jobs. Corporations shipped 7 million manufacturing jobs overseas to pay workers pennies while leaving our communities broke. They sold out the country for profit, and we paid the price. Farrakhan's message was clear. Until we control our money and our labor, we'll always be at the mercy of someone. That takes us straight to the next point: the systemic oppression in entertainment and talent exploitation. Hollywood might look glamorous, but for Black artists, it's often a trap. Farrakhan didn't hold back when he called out how Black talent is exploited. He pointed out how Black actors and musicians are pushed into degrading roles just to make a paycheck.
So you play whore, now listen to me. For the money, you do degrading parts for the money.
You play a prostitute for the money, he said, highlighting how Black artists are forced to sell out their dignity to survive in an industry that doesn't respect them. And it's not just about the roles, it's about who's in control. Black folks might have the talent, but we don't own the production, the distribution, or the profits.
What is Black South Africa fighting for? You think they're just fighting for the right to vote? They want back the value of what's under their foot. The gold, the diamond, the uranium, the cobalt, the titanium, all that which America needs to be fit.
We could talk about specific people like Tina Turner and Mick Jagger. Tina, a Black icon, was put in positions where her image was used for someone else's gain.
I love Tina Turner, but I'd be damned if I would allow Tina to let Mick Jagger rip off her dress before the whole world.
Farrakhan didn't mince words. It was a bold thing to say, but it came from a place of love and frustration, seeing our own being used and disrespected. And it's not just about Hollywood. Farrakhan warned about the modern mental enslavement happening in our communities. Our talent is being hijacked by drugs, by vice, by industries controlled by people who don't care about us. Instead of using their gifts to uplift, too many are being led down paths of self-destruction. Farrakhan's message rings loud and clear. Until we take control of our own narratives and industries, we'll keep being exploited. It's time to break free. So what can we do? It's time to unite. Farrakhan didn't just point out the problems. He gave us a roadmap to fix them. First, he called for unity. It doesn't matter if you're Christian, Muslim, NAACP, or Urban League.
On the least common denominator. And the least common denominator is we are all the same family and we all have the same need. So let us not see Muslim and
Our differences don't outweigh our shared struggle. If we're going to win, we've got to come together and fight as one. Next, he laid out practical steps for economic empowerment. Why are we spending billions on toothpaste, soap, and toilet paper from companies that don't care about us? Farrakhan said it's time to start producing these essentials ourselves, right in our own communities. And that $204 billion we spend every year? He challenged us to redirect that money into Black-owned businesses.
fight to get back $204 billion, keep it rotating at least 3 times in our community before it goes. If we can keep it going 3 times in our community, I guarantee you our children will have a future.
Still with me. Thanks for watching. Take this reminder to heart. Real change doesn't come from shortcuts or distractions. It comes from hard work and a shared vision for a better tomorrow. So what's next? It's on us to keep this message alive. Share this video with your family, your friends, and your community. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay connected. Let's keep spreading the news and building the future Farrakhan fought for. Thanks for watching. We're in this together.